Once upon a time, nestled deep within a whispering jungle, lived a little sloth named Snoozy. Unlike most sloths, who spent their days hanging upside down napping, Snoozy longed for adventure. He dreamt of exploring the vibrant world below, but his slow-moving nature kept him tethered to his branch. One particularly sleepy afternoon, as the jungle hummed with its usual afternoon lull, Snoozy decided to take a small adventure. He inched his way down the thick branch, his three-toed paws gripping the bark with surprising strength. For a sloth, the world below was a dazzling display of colors and textures. Lush green leaves shimmered in the sunlight, casting cool, dappled shadows on the forest floor. Exotic flowers bloomed in vibrant hues, fiery orange, deep purple, and sunny yellow, their sweet perfume filling the air. The air buzzed with the gentle hum of insects flitting between the flowers, their tiny wings shimmering like stained glass in the sunlight. Snoozy, overwhelmed by the sights and sounds so different from his usual view from above, took a deep breath. The sweet smell of ripe berries filled his nose, and he slowly navigated towards a nearby bush, his every movement a deliberate step towards the unknown. He reached out with a long, slow arm and plucked the juiciest berry he could find. As he popped it into his mouth, a wave of drowsiness washed over him. The berry, plump and juicy, was filled with a magical sleep dust, a secret of the whispering jungle. Snoozy's eyelids drooped, and he fought the urge to yawn. He wanted to continue exploring, but the sleep dust was powerful. He looked around for a comfortable spot to rest his weary limbs. A bed of soft moss, nestled beneath a cascading waterfall, seemed perfect. The sound of the trickling water, a gentle melody that had lulled him to sleep countless times before, seemed even more soothing now. He carefully lowered himself onto the moss, his tired body sinking into its comforting embrace. The gentle sound of trickling water lulled him further. The dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves created a mesmerizing light show on his fur, dancing patterns that soothed his tired eyes. One by one, his muscles relaxed, and a peaceful smile spread across his face. As his eyes fluttered closed, Snoozy drifted off to sleep, dreaming of exciting adventures in a slow-motion wonderland. High above him, a wise old owl hooted a gentle goodnight. The other animals of the jungle continued their afternoon rituals, their soft sounds creating a soothing lullaby. The whispering leaves rustled a calming melody, and the warm jungle breeze gently brushed against Snoozy's fur, carrying the sweet scent of flowers and damp earth. Deep within his dream, Snoozy explored the jungle at his own pace, a slow-motion ballet of movement. He swung from vines with surprising grace, his long limbs finding purchase with ease. He savored the juiciest fruits, the taste bursting on his tongue with a sweetness he'd never experienced before. He met other slow-moving creatures, wise old turtles with knowing eyes, lumbering tapirs with gentle snorts, and colorful butterflies who fluttered lazily from flower to flower. They all greeted Snoozy with a smile, for in the world of dreams, slow and steady truly did win the race. As the moon replaced the sun, casting a silvery glow on the jungle floor, Snoozy's dreams continued, filled with peace and tranquility. He built a magnificent treehouse made of soft leaves and sturdy branches, a haven for all the slow-moving creatures of the jungle. He even learned to fly, not with wings, but by catching the wind on his expansive fur, gliding gently from branch to branch, a slow-motion dance through the air. In his dreams, Snoozy realized that being slow wasn't a limitation, but a unique way of experiencing the world, a world filled with wonder and beauty waiting to be discovered at his own pace. Snoozy's dream adventures continued for what felt like an eternity, each moment a delightful exploration of the jungle's hidden wonders. He befriended a family of sloths who lived high up in the canopy, their slow, methodical movements a source of amusement and comfort. They taught him the secret to finding the juiciest leaves, hidden amongst the dense foliage, and the best napping spots with the most breathtaking views. One day, as Snoozy was napping peacefully in a hammock woven from vines, a jolt of excitement jolted him awake. A group of brightly colored toucans, known for their love of gossip, landed on a nearby branch. Their beaks rattled excitedly as they shared news of a hidden waterfall rumored to possess magical properties. Intrigued, Snoozy decided to embark on a quest to find it. With newfound determination, Snoozy began his journey. He followed the chattering toucans, their vibrant feathers a beacon in the dappled sunlight. The path was long and winding, leading him through dense undergrowth and across babbling brooks. He encountered curious monkeys who swung down from the trees to greet him, their playful chatter adding to the jungle symphony. He even helped a lost baby armadillo find its way back to its burrow, earning a grateful grunt from the relieved mother. Finally, after hours of slow but steady progress, Snoozy reached the hidden waterfall. Cascading down a moss-covered rock face, the water shimmered with an otherworldly glow. As he approached, a sense of calm washed over him, dispelling any lingering fatigue. He took a tentative sip from the pool at the waterfall's base, and a burst of energy surged through his body. He felt lighter, more agile, even capable of a slow jog. Overjoyed with his newfound energy, Snoozy spent the rest of his dream exploring the waterfall's magical properties. He raced, at a sloth's pace, of course, with a family of playful otters, their laughter echoing through the jungle. He climbed trees with a newfound ease, his limbs moving with a newfound grace. He even managed to catch a napping butterfly in midair, a feat he never thought possible. As the dream world began to fade, the magical effects of the waterfall water wore off. Snoozy felt a gentle tug back to his usual world, a world where slow and steady was the norm. However, a spark of excitement remained within him. He knew that even in his slow-motion world, there were adventures to be had, discoveries to be made, and a unique way of experiencing the beauty of the whispering jungle. With a contented sigh, Snoozy surrendered to the fading dream, a smile playing on his lips. He woke up the next morning, feeling refreshed and full of a newfound appreciation for his slow-moving nature. He stretched his limbs, savoring the feeling of the sun warming his fur. The jungle hummed around him, a familiar melody that filled him with a sense of belonging. Snoozy knew this day would bring its own adventures, perhaps a climb to a new napping spot or a daring exploration of a nearby bush bursting with juicy berries. He stretched out on his branch, ready to embrace the day at his own pace, a slow-motion sloth with a heart full of dreams. As you drift off to sleep, imagine yourself in the whispering jungle, surrounded by the gentle sounds of nature. Let your worries melt away like morning mist, and dream of your own unique adventures, big or small. Sweet dreams. The dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves tickled Snoozy's nose, gently coaxing him awake. He stretched his long limbs, a yawn escaping his lips like a slow, rumbling sigh. The memory of his dream lingered, a sweet aftertaste of adventure and newfound energy. He glanced down at the bed of soft moss, where he'd slept, a grateful smile spreading across his face. The familiar sounds of the jungle filled his ears, the chattering of monkeys high in the canopy, the squawking of parrots flitting from branch to branch, and the rhythmic drumming of a woodpecker, Snoozy took a deep breath, savoring the sweet scent of blooming orchids and damp earth. Today was a new day, and with it came the promise of new explorations. He decided to share his dream with his friend Beatrice, a wise old sloth who lived a few branches away. He inched his way across the thick branches, his movements slow and deliberate. As he approached Beatrice's favorite napping spot, a shady nook nestled amongst a cluster of ferns, he saw her hanging upside down, peacefully dozing. "Beatrice," Snoozy called out softly, his voice barely a whisper. Beatrice stirred, blinking sleepily. "Snoozy, good morning," she greeted him in a raspy voice. "Did you have a restful sleep?" Snoozy grinned, a mischievous glint in his eye. "The most wonderful sleep, Beatrice. I dreamt of a magical waterfall with water that gave me incredible energy. I even raced otters and climbed trees with ease." Beatrice chuckled, her single tooth gleaming in the sunlight. "Sounds like a most delightful dream," she remarked. "But remember, Snoozy, magic isn't always about speed. Sometimes, the greatest adventures are the ones we experience slowly, savoring every detail." Snoozy pondered her words. He looked down at the jungle floor teeming with life, scurrying ants carrying leaves many times their size, a vibrant butterfly alighting on a fragrant flower, a family of playful monkeys swinging through the trees. He realized Beatrice was right. The jungle held its own kind of magic, a slow-motion spectacle waiting to be discovered. Suddenly, an idea sparked in Snoozy's mind. "Beatrice," he exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement, "for a sloth, how about we embark on our own adventure today? A slow-motion exploration of the jungle, taking in all the sights and sounds." Beatrice's eyes twinkled. "A most excellent proposition, Snoozy," she agreed, a slow smile creeping across her face. "Let's see what wonders await us today." And so, the two sloths, side by side, began their slow-motion descent. They inched their way down the branches, their movements a silent symphony of slowness. They stopped to admire the vibrant colors of a blooming orchid, listened intently to the chirping of a hidden cricket, and marveled at the intricate patterns on a ladybug's back. They encountered other jungle creatures along the way, exchanging friendly greetings and sharing stories. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the jungle floor, Snoozy and Beatrice found themselves perched on a sturdy branch overlooking a small clearing. They watched as a family of deer grazed peacefully, their gentle presence filling the air with a sense of tranquility. "Today was a perfect adventure, Beatrice," Snoozy said, a contented sigh escaping his lips. "Indeed, Snoozy," Beatrice replied, her voice filled with warmth. "We may be slow, but we experience the world in a way no other creature can. And that, my friend, is a magic all its own." Snoozy closed his eyes, the rhythmic chirping of crickets lulling him into a peaceful state. He knew that even in his slow-motion world, every day held the promise of new discoveries, new connections, and a unique appreciation for the beauty of the whispering jungle. And with that comforting thought, Snoozy drifted off to sleep, ready to dream of new slow-motion adventures under the watchful gaze of the moon. The days that followed were filled with slow-motion expeditions for Snoozy and Beatrice. They charted a course through the dense undergrowth, their meticulous pace allowing them to appreciate the intricate details most creatures missed. They discovered a hidden colony of glowing mushrooms that pulsed with an ethereal light in the twilight hours. They stumbled upon a hidden stream teeming with colorful fish, their scales shimmering like jewels as they darted amongst the pebbles. One sunny afternoon, their exploration led them to a clearing where a group of monkeys were gathered, chattering excitedly. Intrigued, Snoozy and Beatrice inched closer, their arrival met with a chorus of curious glances. A young monkey, his fur a vibrant orange, approached them cautiously. "Excuse me," he squeaked, tilting his head to the side. "We've never seen sloths this close before. What brings you to Monkey Meadows?" Snoozy, ever the gentle soul, explained their love for slow-motion exploration and their desire to experience the jungle's hidden wonders. The young monkey, whose name was Pip, listened intently, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. "That sounds amazing," he exclaimed. "But wouldn't you like to see the jungle from a different perspective, one with a little more speed?" Snoozy and Beatrice exchanged a look, a mix of apprehension and curiosity swirling in their eyes. Pip, sensing their hesitation, grinned mischievously. "Don't worry," he reassured them. "I wouldn't suggest anything too risky. But I do know of a perfect spot for a thrilling, slow-motion slide." Hesitantly, Snoozy and Beatrice agreed. Pip led them to a steep embankment, covered in smooth, slippery leaves. He explained his plan, a slow-motion descent down the jungle slide, promising a rush of excitement without compromising their deliberate pace. With a deep breath, Snoozy launched himself onto the leaves, his body sliding gracefully down the slope. Beatrice, ever cautious, followed suit, a flicker of a smile playing on her lips. The wind whooshed past them, leaves swirling around them in a whirlwind of color. Their descent was slow but exhilarating, a unique sensation that filled them with a giddy joy. Reaching the bottom, Snoozy and Beatrice let out a burst of laughter, a sound rarely heard in the normally quiet jungle. They had conquered the jungle slide, a testament to their willingness to step outside their comfort zone, albeit at a sloth's pace. News of the sloth's daring feat spread like wildfire through the jungle. They became unlikely heroes, proving that slow and steady could be just as adventurous as fast and furious. Snoozy and Beatrice, ever humble, continued their slow-motion explorations, inspiring other creatures to appreciate the beauty of the world around them, one meticulous step at a time. And so, the whispering jungle continued its melodic symphony, a harmonious blend of swift creatures blurring through the branches and slow-moving sloths savoring every detail. Snoozy, once a dreamer of adventures, became an adventurer himself, a testament to the fact that even the slowest journey can be filled with wonder, discovery, and an appreciation for the unique magic of the world, experienced at his own perfect pace. As you drift off to sleep, imagine yourself in the whispering jungle, surrounded by the gentle sounds of nature and the thrill of a slow-motion adventure waiting to unfold. Sweet dreams. As the days turned into weeks, Snoozy and Beatrice became known as the Whispering Explorers, their slow-motion adventures legendary in the jungle. They mapped hidden pathways, cataloged exotic flora, and befriended creatures of all shapes and sizes, all at their own deliberate pace. One particularly peaceful evening, as the fireflies twinkled like miniature stars amongst the leaves, Snoozy and Beatrice found themselves perched on their favorite branch, overlooking the vast expanse of the jungle. A comfortable silence settled between them, filled with the rhythmic chirping of crickets and the rustling of leaves in the warm breeze. "Snoozy," Beatrice said softly, her voice barely a whisper like the sighing wind. "Do you ever miss the idea of being fast?" Snoozy pondered this for a moment, his eyes gazing at the twinkling fireflies. "Sometimes," he admitted with a gentle sigh. "But then I remember the magic we discover every day, the details most creatures miss in their rush. We wouldn't have seen the fireflies dance in the moonlight, or heard the secrets carried on the wind, if we were always rushing from one place to another." Beatrice chuckled, a rumbling sound that echoed softly through the trees. "Indeed, Snoozy. We have found our own kind of magic, a slow-motion symphony of wonder. And who knows, perhaps one day, we'll teach the other creatures that slow can be just as beautiful as fast." Snoozy smiled, a warm feeling spreading through his heart. He knew Beatrice was right. Their way of exploring the jungle wasn't just for them. It was a reminder to appreciate the beauty in everything, the intricate details on a single leaf, the mesmerizing dance of a butterfly, the calming rhythm of the wind rustling through the trees. As their eyelids grew heavy, Snoozy and Beatrice snuggled closer to their branches, the gentle sounds of the jungle lulling them into a peaceful slumber. In their dreams, they continued their slow-motion adventures, exploring hidden waterfalls, befriending shy creatures, and spreading their unique brand of slow-motion joy throughout the whispering jungle. And as you drift off to sleep, imagine yourself nestled amongst the leaves, the warm embrace of the jungle around you. Close your eyes and listen to the quiet symphony of nature, the chirping of crickets, the rustling of leaves, the distant hoot of an owl.